Okay, so welcome everyone again to our series of the ultimate connection with God, with Hashem. So we are continuing our series delving deep into Jewish mysticism, Jewish meditation, and intuition. So we're getting really deep into this subject, explaining all the different nuances about Jewish meditation. So for you, anyone joining us for the first time, I am Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. I'll be your host, and you can look up our website for more information. So we are now on part 12 of our journey over here in delving deep into meditation and intuition. And today we'll be discussing meditation, intuition, and we'll be doing actually some practical exercises, so which should be exciting. So before we do that, I'd like to just go over some of the brief mention of what we discussed last time, because I feel it's tremendously important to understand the basis of what we're trying to achieve over here. So what we discussed was the goal of Jewish meditation, which is so important. And it is simply to miyached yichudim, as we explained last time, that our whole job here as Jews, if anybody were to tell you, would ask you, so what is your job as a Jewish person on this world? And we'll tie this in how this fits into our course here, Jewish meditation. You would tell them it's miyached yichudim. Miyached yichudim. So they might say, well, what is that? It sounds like mumble jumble to me. Well, you tell them, well, we're here to unite the worlds. We're here to make everybody one. Our world, the spiritual worlds, everybody as one unit, because we all started as one. We are fragmented at one point. That's what the Kabbalists explain. And then now our job, that's the only job we have, is to reunite and bring everybody into love and to peace. That's the entire Torah on one leg, on one foot, as we say, the expression. So therefore, all we have to do is some rectifications, and we're given tools to do that. Now, one of the commandments we're given is to lidov kobo, is to connect to Hashem. And through meditation, and that's how it ties into meditation, that's where the Kabbalists explain to us that by us doing our Jewish meditation, and it's important, every time we meditate, we have to have this in the back of our mind. It doesn't have to be at the forefront, but it has to be in the back of the mind that you are connecting your spark of life, which is your neshama, which is your soul. And if your soul leaves you, that's it, your spark is gone. You are a bag of bones, basically. The only part of you really that keeps you alive, that energy source is your soul. We call it the neshama. And where does that get its energy from? Where does that get its substance from? Well, that's what we call the Ein Sof. And in English, we'll translate as the infinite light. This infinite light, or you call it God or omnipresence, whatever you want to name it, okay, it's not important the name, but you have to understand there's an energy source that created all things. And by doing the meditations that we're describing over here, you're connecting your powerful source of life, which is your neshama, to that battery bank, which is called the Ein Sof, which is called that powerful energy which keeps you alive. Okay, so in short, really, we could say that you are an extension of that great light called the Ein Sof, the infinite lights. Okay. Now, even though we go through our mundane life, we go through our lives and we don't feel very energized, and we feel tired, and we feel fragmented, but you all have to know the potential is there to connect and recharge your batteries at any time. That's the beautiful thing about all of this. That's the big chiddush that we're teaching over here. So, like we mentioned last time, the Gemara calls Hashem the fire, the great fire. So how do we connect to the great fire? So that's through this Jewish connection, this Jewish meditation. Now, in the same way, the fire can be both dangerous and it could be life-saving. For example, the glass maker, that was the example we gave last time. The glass maker takes these raw materials and puts it into the fire. And through the fire, it doesn't destroy the materials, but rather it purifies the materials. That's what we're after. We're after the purification part. We're after when we connect, you have to understand that you are becoming a better person. Now, logically, that doesn't make sense. Now, what does it mean? How is it that by me being still, by me meditating, by me just connecting to Hashem, I become a better person? Well, we're not here to understand it. We're here to experience it. We're here to follow what this infinite light of Hashem told us to do. And that is to connect to him. And through this connection, the Kabbalists explain to us that you are like that glass going into the fire. You are purifying yourself and becoming a better being. Your infinite soul will become cleansed, and therefore you'll be able to attach to Hashem and experience anything that you want to experience. Okay, so that's really, in a nutshell, what we're after. So when we meditate, we're going to have a short meditation soon. You want to imagine yourself as one big neshama. Okay, when we're meditating, you want to forget about your body. Now, I know sometimes we have aches and pains, and we got our problems, and we got things going on in our mind, as we spoke about in the earlier classes about the monkey chat and all that. But if you want to be successful in meditation, you don't have to stay there for hours, and you don't have to do any complicated mantras either, but rather what you want to do, you want to focus on yourself as if you are pure light. That's really the secret here to success in meditation. Once you focus on your power outlets, and we're going to speak about that very soon, the way the Jewish philosophy looks at the power outlets. In the Indian Buddhism, they look at it as chakras, and we explain how that fits really into our philosophy, as well as the hecholos, the chambers. We have 7 chambers, and they have 7 chakras that sort of works together. But we'll explain that, we'll expand that notion a little bit more now. But what do you want to do when you're focusing on meditation and connection? You want to focus not on your body, not on your thoughts. You want to focus yourself as pure light and those light centers which are inside of you. And when you do that, you want to focus your light outwards and connecting to the Ein Sof. You want to connect to that greater light. And once you connect to that greater light, then anything becomes possible. Because then you are no longer in the boundaries of the natural. Now you're in the supernatural now. Now you're above the natural laws of the world. Okay, because you are now attached to your spiritual self, which is attached to a spiritual power which created you, and so on and so forth. That's the umbilical cord that we spoke about. And that's why a lot of people get depleted, because they're not recharging their batteries by connecting into this power source called the Ein Sof, called Hashem, a God, omnipresent, whatever you want to call it. It refreshes a person, it powers them up, and rectifies them. That's the Jewish philosophy. That's what we're doing this for. Okay? So again, you want to focus on your power centers, you want to ignite them, and then you want to explode them, because that's when you're connecting to the Ein Sof. Okay? Now, in Jewish philosophy, Jewish Kabbalistic, we're going to see that we don't focus only on the 7 principal cardinal points, but we have also 10 as well. We'll speak about that. So now let's do a little bit of meditation before we go into the main exercise that I want to do over here. So I want everybody to relax. I want you to sit in a comfortable chair or be comfortable, so that way you don't have to move about. And the first thing I want you to do, we're not going to take maybe 5 minutes, so I don't want you to close your eyes and drift off on me. I just want you to focus, because we need total awareness for this next exercise that we sort of started last week. So the first thing I want you to do is just focus on your breath. Just focus on your breath. Take 3 deep breaths. 3 deep breaths. So hold it for a second or two and let go. And you breathe again. and let go. And breathe again, and then let it go. And that should calm you down. Now just allow yourself to move away from those thoughts, fleeting thoughts, and just to focus just exclusively on your breath. So feel the air coming into the nostrils, pure positivity, and then let go of anything negative. Positivity, breathing in, inhale, and then exhale. And do that for a few seconds. Now, as you're doing that, I want you to be aware of your surroundings. Just look around you. Maybe you weren't aware of the chair you're sitting on because it's so natural. You just sit on a chair. But did you realize what type of chair? How does it look to you, this chair? The walls around you, the table, the paintings. Just be aware while you're breathing in and out of your surroundings with your five senses. And then the next stage, I want you to be appreciative of your surroundings, the security, the comfort, the warmth of your surroundings. Feel now into your surroundings. I want you to go a little bit deeper now. Feel into the life force of your surroundings. Everything has life, as we explained. Everything has a vibration, a frequency. Everything is energy. So if everything's energy, feel into that energy, into that warm, comfortable energy that's around you. If any thoughts come in your mind, just take that deep breath again. Now, I want you to move your attention now, just for a few seconds now, into your body. I want you to feel now the life force in your body. Now, be aware that how you are able, and you have that gift of switching your awareness from here to there. Okay? You are pure awareness. Now, be aware of your feet. A minute ago, you were not aware of your feet. Be aware of your feet. How are your feet feeling? Are they warm? Are they cold? Be aware of your hands. What I mean by be aware of the energy which is inside, which is powering that power of the neshama. Be aware of that. Now, finally, I want you to be aware that you are aware. Now, it sounds very poetic, but you are actually a being that is able to be aware that you are aware of things. That means you are pure consciousness. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are just pure awareness. And this is above any labels that you give yourself or anybody else gives you. Whether you're a teacher, a father, a mother, a son, a brother, a grandfather, grandmother, a scientist, a doctor, it doesn't matter. You are no longer a label. Just feel into your energy and just release that. And let yourself expand your energy. Good. So now that we have ourselves relaxed and empowered, we can really understand really what the goal is in meditation. As we explained, you're finding your true self. And when you find your true self, that's when you can really connect to Hashem. Because in our normal state of affairs, we can't connect to Hashem. We're too busy in our minds. We're too busy with outer things, in thinking about the past, present, and the future. But when we focus inside and we're connecting with the inner light, that's when we find ourselves, our true selves, and that's when we can connect to Hashem. So we are an awareness, and that's what meditation does. It digs deep into our subconscious to get to there. Now, I want to introduce to you a Kabbalistic concept that probably many of you know about, but I want to make it clear, and it helps as well in our meditation. When we talk about our real self, what is the real self? Well, the Kabbalists explain that we have 10 energy sources, 10 very powerful energy sources. And let me just read them out to you. So your crown in Hebrew, according to the Kabbalah, is called keter, which is crown. And then you have your right brain, which is chokhmah. That's a power source. It's not just a material brain, but it's a power source. On the left side of your brain, that's called bina, a power. It's an energy source. And then you have your middle brain, which is dats. Then moving to your right arm, that's called chesed. Left arm, that's called gvura. Your chest, that's called tiferet. Your right leg, netzach. Left leg, hod. Your just above your legs, it's called yesod. And then you have malchus, just below there. And that encompassing all those power sources create you who you are. That's what the Kabbalists explain to us. Now, as you are in your meditation and focusing on your neshama, that's a very generic way of doing it. But more specifically, you can specify, for example, you have a pain in your right arm, so you would focus on your chesed, which is the basis which created your arm. That's the power source which keeps your arm going, or your left arm, or your right leg, which is netzach. So you'd focus on the energy source in your right leg to bring healing to your right leg, or your left leg, or wherever you have pain. So as we're meditating, we're imagining ourselves as well as pure lights, but more specifically through these 10 specific channels that are in us, these power sources, we ignite each one of them. We ignite our keter, we ignite our chokhmah, we ignite our bina, and so on and so forth. That empowers us and ignites us like a true flame. And then we automatically are dovuk, we automatically attached to the ultimate source. Okay? We become just a power source of energy through these 10 luminous lights which are in us. Okay? That's how we meditate. So now that we're in semi-meditative state, now I want to go back to last week's exercise, which was a lot of fun. It gives you an insight in who you are if you do it properly, and also can give you insight into the person which is coming to you, or who you're practicing with. Okay, I use this quite often as well when people come to me and ask me for questions on their future, or their present situation, or their past situation. This helps in all cases, or you can do it as well to help you in delving into people's relationships if they want you to go there, to see the relationship between the two partners. Okay, so we called it the flower exercise, and now we're going to go back to that now. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so I want everybody to imagine now that you've connected to that Ein Sof, that beautiful light. I want you to imagine that flower. Okay, that beautiful flower. Now, you know what? I have a better idea. What we're going to do, just to save a bit of time, what I want to do, I want to go into breakup rooms now. And you're gonna challenge yourself with a partner, okay? So these are the instructions. They're very simple. You're gonna go into a breakup room with a partner. You're not gonna talk. What you're gonna do, you're gonna both sit there one at a time. You're gonna see, you decide between who wants to go first. You're gonna take 5 minutes each. And you're gonna try to read the person. You're going to plug into their energy source. And the way to do that is to materialize a flower in your mind. And the flower, the reason why I show that, because it's a living thing. It moves like a person moves. Okay, it has petals, which is relevant for something. It has a stem, which is relevant for something else. Has branches, has colors. There's a lot of indicative um, aspects to a flower that should give you an insight into that person, like we touched upon very, very slightly last week. Okay, and then I want you to come back after 10 minutes. I want to hear some feedback, and we're going to practice this, okay, a bit more, okay, with multiple flowers as we go along. But you know what I was thinking? Maybe we could. Would anybody want me to do an example of this?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I show
Yeah.
you how it's done? Okay.
Yeah.
So we need. Let me maybe choose somebody as a volunteer.
I'm not volunteer for it.
I'm going to choose Ariel. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
This one minute, because I know you. I don't want people to think. I want to try to see somebody that I don't know.
No. You don't know me.
That way it will be easier that way. Okay, 1 second. Okay, Fran, Iris.
Rabbi, can you do me?
Can you do me, Rabbi?
You don't know me.
I don't know you. Okay.
She's a friend of mine invited to this, and I'm the one who told her about it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna practice with I'm sorry, I lost you here. Was that
Adina Blickstein.
Okay.
Can you do me also?
Adina. Okay, well, you're going to do one person for now, and then I'll show you the ways. And I want you to break up and do it yourself because it's really, really easy. Okay, as long as you're in that meditative state, boom, that's when the magic happens. Okay, so now, okay, everybody mute themselves. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this exercise in front of you, and I'll show you the way it's done. Okay, so I'm going to imagine my mind now. I'm going to imagine myself. So just give me a few seconds. This flower. And for me, that's going to be a representation of Adina. Like Adina says, I don't know Adina. We just met briefly last course. We spoke a few words, but I don't know anything about her or background. Is that right, Adina?
That's right.
That's right. Okay. So, just give me a second. Okay, so now you have to be aware that I might say things that are private. So I have to allow you,
That's absolutely fine.
your consent before I say it. Okay, so I mean the first thing that I've seen, is a flower with a lot of energy. Okay, now it might start when you speak. By the way, as I'm talking to you, Adina, I'm talking to the whole group. I'm trying to teach as well. Okay, so what you want to do, you want to start. You'll be getting information generically, meaning in general. That's fine. Don't think that you're just saying things that are obvious. Don't think like that, because then as you speak, the influence comes over you and you start getting to more and more details. Okay. But what I see from Adina, that's clear, is that I feel there's a lot of strong energy. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes, correct.
Right. Because that's you can have people who are couch potatoes. They're sitting on the couch, they have no energy, and they don't maneuver themselves, and no, but that's not what I feel for Adina. No, not at all. I feel she has electricity. Electricity. You know what I mean? That's what I feel with her. She's always on the move, and she doesn't like to waste any time. Is that correct?
Yep.
Right? That's what she is. Now, she likes to take on a lot. She likes to move and do things and projects. Is that right, Adina?
Yes.
Right. Like I said, I never met this woman. I don't know who she is, but this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm feeling for her. Okay. Now, I feel she's a very, very caring person. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that, there's levels of caring. You know what I mean? You could say, oh, you're a caring person. Yeah, but I feel she's a very, very caring person. I mean, she really, like goes into depth into a person and has a very, very discerning ear about a person. She likes to solve problems. Is that right?
Yes.
You understand that? Because, you could be a caring person, okay, tell me your problems, da, da, da. But she makes it her business, okay? She'll go out and search out people and get down and do whatever she can to solve that problem. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay? So, so that's what again, it's a feeling. I can't tell you exactly all the details, but as you're doing the exercise, you're going to be pulled into this influence and get into her energy and see that. Okay. Now, as well, I can see as well, I feel and see as well, she spends a lot of time by herself as well in her spirituality. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, because she can live on two planes. Okay, this woman lives on two planes. She lives on the physical plane. Also, she lives on the spiritual plane. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
If I'd say that to anybody else, they'd tell me, "What? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I just got my 9 to 5 job." But she's not like that. She has degrees. When she wants, she can fly. She's a very spiritual person, and whew, I can't tell you how high she goes, my friends. She goes very, very high. Is that right? Am I just making this up?
Nope. You're
No.
right.
How much did I pay you to tell me all this? I'm right the whole time.
Nothing, but I can do that too, Rabbi. I could do what you're doing too. So I feel that.
Beautiful.
I feel people's
Beautiful.
energy too. So I I I I read it so I can get where you're getting it.
All right. So she understands. Okay. Anyways, the point is that yeah, I can continue on and on. I can go into her. If I want, what I can do, I can bring another flower in, and that would show me her relationship if she has a relationship with a man, with a husband, whether she's married or not. I can bring her parents into this as well. I can bring other flowers and see how she connects this flower, which is her, see my screen? You have the you and then you have the other person. I could see how these two flowers are connecting together. Okay? And I can tell you that Adina is a person that likes to keep to herself. Okay? She's a very warm person, but she has boundaries. You know what I'm talking about, Adina?
Mm, yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say I like it, but I need it.
You need it. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying this is what you are. You're a person that keeps a boundary and you keep distance from people, because that's who you are. That's fine. I'm saying another person, I would say, no, you're a very warm person. You need to, to be close to people and all that. But for you, I have to say that you make sure that, people are just so far from you. You don't like to that closeness so much. You're a self-made woman and you're happy with that. Does that make any sense to you?
I'm ambivalent about it.
Okay, fine. Okay, so again, this is just a small example what we can do with this tool. Okay, so again, we're not here to be trained as psychics, but rather we're connecting to a bigger power over here, and these just help us to get outside of our minds, outside of ourselves, and to allow this creation and this creativity to come out from inside of us, for our neshamas to bond with another person, to bond with people. Look at that. We're doing this on Zoom and she's 1,000 miles away from me. You can do that, So there's no reason why you cannot connect to Hashem in the same way. Okay, and receive information. And really, like I told you from the beginning, first, this was the source for Ruach HaKodesh prophecy. This is how they did it, as simple as this. There was no magic cantations, Shem Hashem, Yehudim, and all that. That was just on top of that. Once you know the basis of how to connect, then you'd bring all the Kabbalistic Yehudim on there just to empower that and make it more powerful. Okay, but anyways, I hope you that was okay for you. Dina,
Thank you, Rabbi.
thank you very much for allowing me to do that with you. Okay, so Ira, do you mind breaking everybody into rooms now and give them a good 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
To do that. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, we currently have 16 people, including you. So should I do 8 rooms or 7 rooms?
Well, we could do 8 rooms then. We'll do 8 rooms and we'll take 5 minutes per person. I'll go in whoever.
Also, could I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What you just did then, were you using the rows for that or not?
See, I don't need the roads at this point because I'm so experienced. So to be honest, I didn't use the roads, but the rows is what you can do if your mind, you know, you can't concentrate too well because your mind starts thinking about things that you're not supposed to be thinking about at that moment in time. So that allows you to focus your energy and your awareness into the rows, into that particular task that what you're doing is focusing on the person, okay? So instead of looking at the person blankly in the face and going, I don't know what to say, then don't even look at the person. Just think of the rows in your mind as the person, and that rows will start being start becoming alive. Okay, so remember how to do this. Remember what we spoke about last week. You look at the rows, you ask the person to say their name, you drop their name into the rows. Okay, this emanates this that creates liveliness into the rows, and that becomes the person that you are reading. You're not reading the person in front of you now. You have the person in your mind, and that is the rows. Is that clear? Any questions before we do the exercise? Are we all good?
Read the rows, like to have in my mind the rows. Why is it like that? Like it's hard.
Why? Because that is a representation of the person. Because the person is not really the person in front of you. The person in front of you is an neshama, is an energy. And that can be represented in different forms. Okay? So listen, it's very
But I
simple.
can take my rose in the house. I see a rose there. I can take it in my mind now, but it's not alive.
That's right. But it becomes alive because it's only a tool. It's only a tool. Okay? Because what you're actually doing, you're right, it's only a rose on the table. But what you're actually doing is you're feeling the energy of the person. Now, this happens to everybody. This is gut feelings here. We're talking about very basic intuition over here. We're talking about sometimes you're in the room and your back is towards the door and you feel somebody coming in. Or sometimes you're in the room and you see somebody coming in and you can say that person's very angry, even though it has a blank face. But you feel the anger in that person coming towards you, or the joy or the love in that person. You feel it. How does that work? How does it work? Because we spoke about auras. We spoke about that power that is coming towards you. You're blending with that. So all we're doing now is that we're mimicking the process by imagining that the person is actually in my head and is a rose or a flower. And all those movements are significant. For example, if you see the person and the person has this position, what does that tell you? You don't have to be a rocket scientist. If you see the person's very determined, the person is stubborn, the person is not going to cooperate, right? So if you see the flower in your mind in a crushed up position, you see there's a problem over there, obviously. A person is keeping things inside of themselves. But if you see the rose and the petals opening up, you see an expression, you see openness. You see a person wants to give love to the world. You understand? That's how it works over here. Okay? You're not gonna get it perfect the first time, but it's a great exercise to get yourself out of your minds and into the neshama mode. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. So Ira, when you're ready.
Okay. I'm creating 8 rooms.
All right, let's see who wants to share with us. Who wants to be the first participants to share their experience? Bluma, Steve, Moshe, Abigail, Aaron.
I'll give it a shot. This is Aaron.
Okay, who's speaking? I'm sorry.
This is Aaron.
Aaron. All right, go
Hi,
ahead.
Rabbi. Yeah. So.
Who was your partner first of all? I'd like to have you.
Yeah, sure. So the partner was Abigail.
Abigail. Okay, Abigail, would you like to unmute yourself? That way we can hear both sides of the story. Go ahead.
Yep. So I saw a tree, and then at the top of the tree, there was some sort of fog or mist. There was some sort of paint or sculpture, some sort of artistic streak or some sort of expression, and red shoes, which was kind of odd, and there were 3 additional trees or others in the picture. So that's in the brief time that's what happened.
Okay, so what did you feel about that? Tell us, give us a little bit of a descriptor.
It's interesting.
No, I'm talking with the Aaron. One second, before you tell us whether it's right or wrong, but I just want to see Aaron's interpretation of those symbolisms.
Well, I already spoke with her about it, so she gave me her interpretation, so that might shade what I say, but I guess, a tree is like stability, like an aton. Mist can be fog, it can be confusion, it could be the unknown. Artistic streak, paint, maybe there's an aspect or part of the personality that's wants to be expressed, and maybe that ties in with red shoes. It's kind of like a flair for drama or something like that. And then the 3 others are 3 important people that are in her life. I don't know how else to read that one.
Okay, very good. So Abigail, how accurate was that?
I think it was pretty good.
You mind speaking up a little bit, Abigail? We can't hear you so well.
I think it was pretty good.
Okay, good.
There's always discrepancies with these things, but I think it was,
Sure.
something I could identify with. Yeah. And,
Okay, what about yourself, Abigail? What did you get for Aaron?
I saw a rose like shaking, and I felt it was something that something he's searching for, wants to find. I see the rose is very straight, which made me see that he has integrity and honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the struggle was to find the truth and the right things spiritually.
Wow, that sounds really on the money. What about Aaron? Well, how was that accurate?
Yeah, I have to say that's accurate. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely was good. Yeah.
Excellent, Abigail. Good. Anybody else want to share? That's it. I think people are still in the breakout rooms. I don't know what happened to them. All right, they're still going on, including Ira. Okay. Well, I can share as well. I had my partner was Adina. Adina had a very, very good description. She talked about a tree. She talked about how the flower is split in half, and how my students. She spoke about my students, and so on and so forth. Really, everything she said was really on the money. And simply using this tool of the flower and seeing how this is splitting into that, and so on and so forth, that gave her a good general image of who I am and what I do in my life. So that was very good, Adina. Excellent. Miriam, you want to share with us? You're muted, so I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Adele, is it okay if I share?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, who's
Adele.
your?
For permission. Adele, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so first the flower was red and then it turned yellow. And then I saw an image of like a fancy glass cup. But she said that that doesn't really, she doesn't know what that means. Like, I don't know. She said that it doesn't really relate to her, right? So what does that symbolize? That fancy glass cup, like a champagne glass.
Okay, what about your colors? Let's talk about your colors first of all. So what did that mean to you? What did that represent, those colors?
Okay.
Miriam, what did you feel about those colors?
Yellow?
Yeah.
The yellow just made me think of like sunshine and friendliness. I thought she was a very friendly, she just comes off as like a very friendly person. I saw an image of her like driving a car, but she said that she doesn't have a car. She's like one of the only ones that don't have a car. I don't know. So maybe her driving a car just symbolizes that she wants freedom, like to feel free.
Yep.
What?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that, yeah.
Yeah, right on.
What else? I don't remember if I said anything
Rabbi,
else.
do you know what the glass cup means?
Well, I didn't receive that, but let's see if we can try to feel into that. What I get for the glass cup is that I think you have a very good appreciation for precious things.
Hmm.
I also felt that she was like, I thought like, I had an image of her like dancing, and also like walking around trees and birds, and just green, like a lot of green trees, like just green.
I feel you're totally right with that. I feel this is Adele is a person that likes her freedom. She likes maybe she's not driving her own car, but she likes the experience of being in a fast car. You know what I mean? That's the type of person we're talking about over here. So Adele, let's hear some feedback. What do you think?
Yeah, she's right on when she said the car is freedom. Like, I don't feel like I'm free. I think that a lot of things are holding me.
Right. Excellent. Okay, so what did you get for her, Adele? Let's see. What imagery did you get?
She was right on.
That was too powerful. She blew the circuit there. Okay, so maybe we'll wait for Adele to come back. Anybody else?
Okay.
Yellow.
Who was that?
Miriam.
Was that Adele coming back with us?
Yeah, I think she's breaking up.
Okay, so we're gonna have to move on because we're running out of time here. So anybody else want to share before we close off here?
Yeah, I guess I think I told them off the top of my head, whatever I could remember.
So I got the 4 roses.
Yeah, that's right. That there were like 4 roses inside his rose, and I think they were like like small, unopened, like red balls, like before a flower blooms or opens or whatever, or pops or does anything with the and also I think it was like there might have been like a yellow inside or like a yellowish hue. I think there was also like his name went through it. Animated the flower. It was like, like down to the stem or like through the stem, and like as if the stem was in the soil or something, and then it watered it as if water was coming from the bottom or through the bottom to like nourish. He's very grounded. He's like very you know, like sharing his knowledge with people or trying to you know, like you know, like share his knowledge with different groups of people or with
Well, that's 100% true, because I know him personally, and I can tell you that he likes to give over. He likes to teach, and that's the representation of the water flowing through, flowing outwards. That's very good. Excellent. So what do you tell me? You always tell me you never get anything, but you always get good information.
I'm taking a totally wild guess. I'm not feeling anything at all. I'm just taking a totally like
It's not a
wild.
guess. There's nothing random. You get 3-4 exercises. You got 4 out of 4 so far. So you must be doing something right. What about Ira? Ira, tell me your experience.
So when I looked at Ariel's rose, it changed color from red to purple, and all the leaves opened up and became like different types of leaves. Instead of like rose leaves, they became like long, sinuous type of leaves.
Okay.
And later on, as I was thinking about it, I was thinking about those like flowers you see in Dr. Seuss books, where they go out, they go all different types of directions, you know. So
That's so true. We know he likes to do a lot of things, a lot of activities, and spread himself out. That's very powerful what you're seeing there. Anything else?
and there was something else. Do you remember, Ariel, what the other thing was? Okay. That was the strongest impression, though. I didn't want to go too far because we were already out of time, because we were trying to get a partner for him, and then our time was running out. So.
Okay. All right, great. Well, that's wonderful. We'll stop it here for now because we're going over time now. So I'm happy that we got some good information and we're very successful, and very good. So we'll continue next week with more exercises, and our goal again is to empower and increase our powers of intuition and that connectivity with Hashem. So I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.